the flute begins, and she says, "Oh, that is beautiful. It reminds me of better days." And she says, "Yes, the young men of the House of Hara in their fine samurai outfits and their beautiful swords." And so she's remembering the samurai, of the noble house of the region down below. So at this point, I believe both Ola or rather both Takachi and Itosama are sort of seeing who gets the next words in to the old woman. So
I was going to ask if now I'm interrupting you guys, and I'm sorry. But I was going to ask her if the Hara family visits her.
Oh no, they never come up here. No one does anymore. Well, hardly anyone. Sometimes people come to see if they can, she looks kind of up in an abstract way, and she says, complete quests. But most of them have other business of some kind. My sisters, I am sorry to say, they say they are seeking husbands, but they eat their entrails and hang what is left in the trees.
Not a very good start for a relationship. So since we came here, just like we
I
haven't
like
been
playing
like
nice
this.
little old ladies.
I mean, we've not been traveling up along up this mountain more than a day, but during that day, a lot of strange things has been happening, and we have encountered. I mean, the special kind of demon that we encountered was the monk. Is that a kind of a common? Do we all know what that was, or
Mikudo Noshi is a known mythological creature, but it is rather exotic and is sometimes thought of as singular rather than a type of creature. So
it's one creature.
That's the way the tales are told. But the tales are told all over Japan, so who knows?
Yeah, it's like Santa. You can.
Right. Yeah, how many Santas are there?
Anyway,
Well,
I was what I was wondering was, do I refer to it as a creature, or do I describe a monk with a very long throat?
You would probably use the correct name, I think.
Yeah. We have this happened, and then we encountered a strange owl that threatened us. And so what I'm asking now for you, and we can also see the strange dimensions. Obviously, this path to the mountain witch or the mountain hag that you refer to is filled with strangest magic and all. So what can we expect from this evening with you?
Oh, it is safe here. It is safe here. My sisters, and she kind of shrugs a little because they're not really her sisters. They are sisters in their fates. She says, my sisters will protect us from anything terrible, and they will keep us safe in the cabin. I am quite comfortable here. I will die here in peace if I can. Then she says, and you met him, the monk, did you? She says,
Yes.
Those Buddhists are terrible. So everything you see here about her and their observances is Shinto. not Buddhist. So she says, though Buddhists are terrible. And then she says, on the other hand, he's not a very good Buddhist, so maybe he is not so bad.
Okay. Yeah, he was. Um, so, and what do you know about the owl? The owl? I know.
She says, I know of no specific Fukuru. Everyone knows the Fukuru speaks truth, that it is a messenger. You should listen. Not like that monk. Terrible, terrible things he says. Not like him.
Yeah.
But if
He was
you
not.
but if you listen, but if a Fukuru speaks, every child knows you should listen. If you were raised right, your grandma would have told you that. But she says, so yes, this is a strange place, but full of wisdom and full of power if you can manage it.
Mm.
So if an owl has come speaking to you, then you should listen. Well, she says, the flute is making me sleepy. Thank you, young man, for your music. It might even still the hearts of soothe the hearts of my sisters, although I would not advise just walking up and trying it.
Can I ask you one last question? Do you need any help?
I fear dying in pain and helplessness. I am ashamed to say that I fear it. But I have learned to accept this. I could not ask my sisters for help. They are too savage. And I would not have my flesh be eaten. So I do wonder about the manner of my death, and whether it will have the dignity and the ritual that I have tried to preserve. Perhaps someone will be with me at that time. That is what I pray for. But that is then she looks ashamed and says, but that is selfish.
She didn't say that she was not alive anymore, or she had a past life or something.
Well, she is saying that she was exiled on the mountain or abandoned to die because she was useless and old.
Okay.
So she is still alive, as far as you can tell. It's sometimes a little hard to tell with these things. You know, we all know the stories of the wandering woodsman who saves a beautiful maiden and lies with her in the night and then awakens to find that he has slept with an old rotten log or something interesting like that. There's lots of charming stories.
My character will go to her and say we are thankful for everything, and if you need something else, you can tell us, and we will do what we can. You're a very nice old lady, and we would like to help if we can.
She bows her head and says, well, good night. And she starts to lower the lights on the lanterns, to turn off to blow out the lanterns. Oops. She starts to blow out the lights in the lanterns and to put a cover on the fire so the coals will stay warm through the night, but it will not be burning brightly. And begins to lay out a very simple bedroll, just nothing, or just the cheapest, oldest mat to lie on that she has. That's all she has. And so she will lie on that and will make herself comfortable. And she gestures again and says, "Please find a place that you like."
But she doesn't sleep in the rooms.
She's going to sleep next to the fire. She is old. She needs the warmth.
Okay.
I will thank her again and ask her if it would be okay if I sleep by the fire.
And she says, she gives kind of a little high pitched laugh, and says, like like more sisters. That would be lovely.
I asked the other two if they want to try the rooms.
I can take the first. I can stay awake the first.
Ito-sama? Same question.
No, she's sleeping.
I'm
Sorry.
I'm
It's
going to
Nathan.
fire.
Umasama.
Sorry.
I asked the same question to Umasama.
To Kisaragi, yeah. So
Yeah,
what do you say, Nathan?
I will quickly finish my bottle of rice, and I guess I will sleep too.
Mm-hmm. Will you go and slide next to the? It would be rude to sleep next to the old woman. So
Yeah,
do you want to sleep? Do you want to go and slide one of the doors and find somewhere? There are just more spaces, more plain wooden rooms.
I go to
And little hallways to go down with several different doors on each side.
Before Kisaraga sama goes into the room, I say I'm a little skeptic of these rooms. So I suggest that if we're gonna sleep in the same room, so we don't get separated for some unknown reason. So if you sleep in that room, I can sleep on the floor. And when Ola has had this first watch, he comes in and swaps. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Wake me when it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
We will.
Okay. So the
Then-
first round proceeds successfully, and then the turnover comes, and Takachi is going to sleep, and I suppose that it's going to be Unadono's turn next. And so you have gone into the room with the main room with the fire, and are standing or sitting around, listening to everyone breathe and sleep. And at that point, you will realize that the where the old woman was sleeping, she's not there. Just the mat is there.
And I can't seem to find her anywhere. Can I see if
You
she
can
has
look. Yes,
walked out?
you look around, and she turns the corner around one of the corners, because of course this whole structure is full of corners and hallways now. And she turns the corner around and is walking around, and seems to be taking care to be moving very quietly.
She's like on her toes.
Well,
On her toes, like, yeah.
right, or at least just setting her feet down. She's not agile enough to get up on her toes. She is just moving her feet in front of her very softly, and then putting her weight on it and doing the same thing. So it's kind of like a very quiet, gliding step. She turns a corner and walks away from you, if you want to follow her.
Yeah. If I follow her, do I get out of reach for the others? Or because she's going away from a corner, or
Yes.
from this room out to the corner.
Yes, she will.